What's going on, folks? This is Bolaji with Brave Young Heroes, and boy, do I have a session for you today. Okay, this is exciting. All right, let's introduce this young lady we have sitting next to me. She is a tech entrepreneur, TV personality, TV producer. She's the Chief Parent Officer and Chief Marketing Officer of Bark. If you haven't heard about it, you're about to start seeing it everywhere. You've seen her on The Doctors, The Today Show, CBS, The Steve Harvey Show. She's the face of technology in Atlanta, literally. I'm so proud of the work that she's doing as executive director of Band of Coders Girls Academy. She's founded a social network in her spare time. I don't know how this mom does it, but please help me to welcome the SHERYL SANDBERG of the South, Atlanta's own Titania Jordan. Welcome, Titania.
That's the best intro I've ever had. Thank you.
I do bar mitzvahs and kids' birthdays.
Oh my gosh, listen up, people.
No, your reputation precedes you, ma'am. I mean, listen, when I started telling folks that we were about to interview you, people got very, very excited. A lot of folks are spontaneously saying, I love Bark. There's not that many products that will make people, just parents, voluntarily say, yes, take my money. This is worth it. I want to tell everybody I know. For the folks, the 5 people in the world who haven't heard about what you do, what is Bark?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for asking. So Bark is technology that keeps children safer online and in real life. And how do we do that? Well, your child is going to access the internet through devices and accounts. And so Bark will monitor those devices and accounts. It will look for the signs of trouble, and then it will send you an alert when they have encountered issues like cyberbullying, sexual content, thoughts of suicide and depression, potential drug use, online predators, and acts of violence. And not only are we going to send you the problem, like, hey, your kid was involved in this, good luck, we'll also give you best recommended next steps for how to address.
This is interesting, and as I started to learn more about Bark, I actually was introduced by Wit. Wit is one of our fellow speakers on the summit, and he works at Bark, and he was just raving about Bark. Now, my kids are 9 and 12, so I do have a 12-year-old,
Wow.
7th grade, and so of course, like families everywhere, we're having that smartphone conversation. When can I get a phone? When can I get a phone? Everybody has a phone.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of parents that have given their kids devices, they're monitoring, because these are responsible parents, but they're kind of doing it like the old-fashioned way.
Mm-hmm.
They're reading their kids' texts manually, taking the phone from time to time, and so on. Why doesn't that method work as effectively as we might hope?
Yeah, it's incredibly cumbersome, it's time-consuming, and it's friction-heavy. You know, if you think, I don't need a monitoring service, I'm just going to grab my child's phone or ask them to hand it over and look through their devices and accounts. You might find some things, but honestly, your kid is going to know that you're going to be doing that. And so if there's anything sketchy, they're going to swipe and delete that text message before you even have the chance to see it. They're going to log out of their Instagram account, their real one, log into their Finsta, their fake Insta, so you don't see any of the troublesome DMs. You're probably not going to find the things that you should know about, because kids are wise to that. They're savvy. They're very savvy. Also, there are these things called vault apps that hide photos and hide things.
What?
And they might look like a calculator or something else, but if your kid has more than one calculator app on their phone, that's a sign.
Who makes these?
I know. That's a whole other topic. But you, by spot checking your child's phone, will miss things and will inherently increase the friction between you and your child.
I want to sort of explore that topic of the friction, though,
Mm-hmm.
because I think parents are getting more and more clued into the dangers
Mm-hmm.
of kids having unfettered access to social media and to smartphones. And so to that end, a lot of parents are saying, I don't care how you feel about it. I love you, so I'm going to take your phone and check it whenever I want. Why are there cons? Why is there a downside to that?
Again, because you're not going to find what you need to know. I am all about positioning yourself as the household authority. Like, you are the parent. We can be friends when you're over 18, but for now, you do what I say when I say it. Totally on board for that. But it's like reading your kid's diary, it's not going to build the relationship between you and your child in the way that you want it to. And again, if you are saying, all right, hand me your phone, I mean, yes, you might find some things if you catch them off guard and they haven't had time to delete it or hide it, but they're going to delete it and they're going to hide it after that first time of, ooh, my mom or dad caught me. I need to do something different.
Right.
So you're just not going to find what you need.
Right. I think a lot of parents are aware. We see the news headlines, really tragic news headlines, whether it's school shootings or suicide or, extreme bullying online. And we tend to think, not my child, not my kid.
Yeah.
But then all of us are thinking that, all of us parents are thinking that, and maybe letting our guard down a little bit. Titania, could you maybe sort of illustrate some of the things that tweens and teens are going through emotionally that maybe we didn't grow up with?
Absolutely. So I'm pulling up our case study that we did over the course of 2018, and gosh, I can't believe 2019 is almost wrapped, and we'll be having a new case study to share with you all from 2019. But over the course of 2018, we analyzed at the time a little over 2 million children's devices and accounts.
Wow.
And we have some pretty compelling data about what actual children are going through on their digital devices. And so I'm pulling that up now, and we can share that in the link, etc., after the fact.
That's awesome. I have some of those numbers available if I can share them.
Go for it.
So you guys, this is incredible and really heart-wrenching research. You did research and found that mental illness, about 32% of tweens and 45% of teens engaged in conversations about depression and or anxiety.
Yeah.
That's anywhere from a third to almost half.
That's exactly. It's, even one child struggling with that is enough to do something about it. But the fact that suicide is now the second leading cause of death in this nation for children ages, 7 to 17 it's heartbreaking. And if you don't think it's happening to your child, you need to think again. If it's not them, it's one of their peers, and they're children. They're not equipped to deal with that.
Wow. This is stunning. For parents who maybe have been very conscientious about protecting their kids, maybe prior to the children receiving access to a smartphone, you kind of watch what they watch online and on TV and such. Maybe those kids go into middle school and they go into that season of now having smartphones, and maybe they have that internal filter up. But you guys have actually shown that even for kids that aren't looking, they're not curious or looking for inappropriate content, that content can still be hoisted onto them.
That's right. That's absolutely right. So even if your child is not seeking content of a sexual nature or of an appropriate nature, unfortunately, it will surface to them. Just given the state of our current society. I mean, think about the top songs of the day, like pop hits, right? There are words in there that we would never hear on top radio back in the 80s and 90s. It's just a different culture right now. And so they're going to be introduced to things. And again, if they don't have a device, chances are the child next to them on the bus or the friend's house that they go hang out at, maybe for a sleepover, will have access. We were just with a group of kids over the weekend, and they all had TikTok, and my son did not. And so even though I don't want him on that platform unless I'm with him, they're upstairs and he's seeing things that I, wish he hadn't.
Sorry, for the uninitiated, Titania, could you share as to what TikTok is?
Oh, yes. So, gosh, you need to know about TikTok. It is, I'd say, the most popular app now amongst children under the age of 18. It's blowing up. It's short form video that you can overlay popular music with. And it's almost like Vine reincarnated. And so it's an app. You download it. You can perform. You add music. It's about 15 seconds in length, and then it just keeps going, one after the other after the other. And
but Titania, that sounds fun and innocent. I mean, we all loved lip syncing or pretending we were, whether it's Madonna or Michael Jackson or whatever. That sounds harmless.
Well, the thing is it's super fun. It's super addictive. TikTok is very entertaining to me, but when I'm scrolling through and all of a sudden there's a 12-year-old girl lip singing to a song that she should not be lip singing to, perhaps in an outfit that I wouldn't let her out of the house in. Not only does it portray an image that might be negative towards her future digital footprint, but it also invites predators to start communicating with her. And it's not just girls. Boys and girls, any gender is experiencing things that, you might just not want your child to experience, even if it's just profanity. Again, a lot of the popular songs today, if they're not the radio edit version, you've got 8-year-olds spouting off these great rhymes, but like, let's do the Kids Bop version maybe, could we? And then there's racist content on there. Sometimes people don't even realize that in their emulation of other cultures that it's actually not ideal. I mean, there's so many pathways. It's just like YouTube. You can find some great stuff on YouTube, and you can also find some not great stuff on YouTube. It's hard, and that's why I'm not saying don't let your kid on TikTok. I'm saying you need to be sitting next to them when TikTok is on, because there will be something inappropriate that comes up, and you as a family need to decide, is your child allowed to consume that content yet or not? And if not, explain to them why. Be like, hey, we're flipping past this. We're hitting fast forward on this, just like you would if you were watching a movie as a family and there was a sex scene or a violent scene or a scene with language that you're like, you know what? That's not for you right now. We're going to hit fast forward to get to a safer part. Same thing with TikTok.
Where are some of the most egregious issues happening, Titania? Is it on the laptops, on the tablets, the smartphones? Where are kids running into the most trouble?
That's a great question. Unfortunately, there's no good answer because it's everywhere. It's really wherever your child is spending the most time. So, TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, text messaging, those are all places where this sort of content is going to happen and surface. Not only that, but on your child's school-issued devices and accounts, that can happen too. So, you might not give your child a smartphone for a while, and that's cool, that's okay. But if their school lets them have a tablet, there are issues happening on Google Docs even.
Google Docs!
I know. But think about it. I mean, kids, we're talking about kids.
Yeah.
Their frontal lobe is not fully formed.
Right.
They are going to make mistakes, and that's okay. We're not expecting kids to be perfect. Right. We all made mistakes. Thankfully, you and I didn't have these tools and platforms to document them and hold us accountable. We were very lucky to not grow up in that age. Our kids are not as fortunate. And so it's more of a matter of if they encounter this sort of stuff than when. And as a parent, we've got to be careful to not judge them. We've got to support them.